Hello, everybody. I am excited to start the second day of 12 Days of AUTMHQ. I am Michael Ward Jr., the president and CEO here at Austin Urban Technology Movement. And yesterday we started 12 Days of AUTMHQ, and we got to connect with our staff, talk about our achievements, our accomplishments, but also what the impact was for the community for 2022 and what we hope to achieve for 2023. And today we're having another conversation with our volunteers and our AUTMites. So I know you all came to see them. So I'm going to get us started and bring up our first person, which is Keziah. So please, Keziah, introduce yourself to our community for those that are watching and let us know how you're connected to Austin Urban Technology Movement.
Hi, everybody. My name is Keziah. I am in the UX design program for AUTMHQ and actually found them through a doctor's appointment, surprisingly. I was chatting with one of the staff members at my physician's office, and she was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I kind of want to get into tech. And she goes, well, this other person just came in and told me about this program. You should look them up. And I'm here.
And what was that doctor's office? I got to go and let them say thank you.
I'll send it to you afterwards. I got you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And because I like just hearing your story is what we like, right? We want people to be out in the community and then find out about us in many different channels. But what was it about, Austin Urban Technology Movement that made you want to say, hey, you know what? Like, that's the organization that I want to be a part of to help me in my tech journey.
For me, it was, well, one, the swiftness of answers. Like, I was able to call and actually, I think you answered the phone, actually. Somebody answered the phone and was able to answer all my questions and find my application quickly and then walk me through what the program would entail and figure out where I'm trying to fit. And I didn't know where I was trying to fit. I was just like, I want to get into tech and I like design things. So I was like, maybe UX, maybe something else. And so the communication and then the ease of which it was laid out was easy for me to make a decision. I was like, okay, I like this.
But we all know that a lot of people doesn't find it that easy, right? So they may reach out to an organization, they may not get a response, or they get a response from the organization, but they don't know what they want to do, right? So how was that navigation for you when you decided, yes, I want to work with Austin Urban Technology Movement, and I want to be in technology in UX UI?
I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute to wrap my head around the fact that I really would be jumping into something like this. But it was simple for me. Honestly, I was able to just ask enough questions, even in orientation. I asked all the questions that I needed to ask and was we took an assessment and figured out what our strengths and weaknesses were and all of that in the beginning. And so for me, I already kind of had a feel for where I might fit, but all of that just kind of solidified it and pushed me that direction. That and hearing the descriptions of UX design, all of that. So it was very easy for me. It was very simple and fluid.
And that's what we want to hear, right? That's what we want to see. People want to see a process that they could start, they could finish, they could go through and then get to the end result for them. So please tell me, how did we actually help you on your journey, right? From start to finish, what were some of the support that we provided to make it very easy for you to get started and get plugged in?
So I'm almost finished. I have about one more month left. Yay. And then I'll be done with my UX design. And I think from the beginning all the way through now, just the support, being able to email, have conversations, and then the connections. That's the biggest part for me. The what are they called? Your mentorship programs, being able to pick a mentor and go through that and have someone who's real time doing UX design tell me different pieces of it that I may be missing from just, getting the certification and going through the courses. That and the community orientation side of things. I made a lot of connections through y'all. And so for me, my tech journey, it helps me solidify my place in the tech world. I really, I said, I didn't know where I would fit, but my psychology and UX design are now starting to fuse those backgrounds. And that's from all the connections that you guys have helped me establish and all the connections that came from having a mentor, someone reviewing my resume and being like, you did all this stuff, you should put this on there. It all just kind of blended together to get me to where I'm at now, which is a place where I'm like, I know exactly where I fit in the UX world. I know what I can provide to people. And I feel comfortable doing it. So yeah, I didn't know anything when I started. Okay, I knew nothing. Didn't know how to make a framework, let alone like what I was going to be getting into with the program. But it was really step by step. Like it took me step by step, and I'm extremely grateful looking back at where I started to where I am now.
Mm-hmm. Now you make me just want to kind of just stop the presentation right here. All right, y'all wrapped up. We've said everything because what I'm hearing from you, that's what we want, right? We want to hear these testimonials. We want to see the positive outcomes. We want to see it being easy, and if there is a barrier, overcoming those barriers so that we can move forward. That truly is what we like to see and we want to hear. So then, as you know, we're talking to those who are watching now, watching later, and they're thinking about getting technology or reaching out to Austin Urban Technology Movement. You know, what has been the biggest highlight for you, right? You know, you kind of touched on it being easy, talked about the support, the community, but as you're looking at everything 1 month before you finish your cohort, you know, what has been the biggest highlight for you?
I think on a personal level, the skills that I'm coming out with and the fact that they were already there and I just didn't know that they were there. And like the capability of being able to execute things. Like I honestly, like from the start till now, I didn't know if I would like how it would end up, where it would go. Someone said the guidance. Yeah, like honestly, that and like my UX mentor, I said it before, like she is phenomenal. Like she's looked at all the projects and like walked me through different things. Like she's just been amazing. So yeah.
I love that because we always tell everybody that we all have a role to play, especially our volunteers, because we can't do without them. So, Keziah, I'm loving your story. I'm happy that we got to share it, and I'm looking forward to bring the next person to the stage. So, Keziah, we're gonna let you say your farewells, and I'm gonna bring up the next person.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Have fun.
Hello, Brittany. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Michael. Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm excited for this piece of the conversation because everything that Keziah said, you know, really is connected to the work that you do. So please, can you introduce yourself and let the community know who you are and what you do here at Austin Urban Technology Movement?
Yes. So my name is Brittany. I am actually a campus recruiter at a company called Atlassian, which is a software company focused on collaboration tools. And I am a case manager volunteer with AUTMHQ. I actually got introduced to AUTMHQ through a colleague of mine who works at Atlassian, who knows Michael from way back when you were president of an employee resource group. So was able to get connected to you and then connect, your organization to Atlassian. And then I decided I want to get more involved. Let me volunteer. So that's my story.
Yeah, and thank you so much for that, Brittany, because now I was just talking earlier is that we all have a role to play. We all can get plugged in. And if we do that, we can make things happen. And you have been engaged. You have been responsive. You have been coming and sharing, challenges and testimonials from the different participants that you've engaged with. So tell us, what services have you provided and how have you helped people along their journeys at the tech space?
Yeah. So as a case manager, I'm really checking in with AUTMites that are going through the process of, doing the courses and trying to get the skills they need to get into the tech industry. So being there to, see how things are going. Are they along the right course of getting all of the checked boxes for the skills that they're trying to work on, and making sure that they know they have somebody to talk to and be there for them throughout this journey. So that's been really, really cool to be able to see the kind of depth and breadth of different AUTMites and, the work that they're doing and be able to support them along their journey.
So, given the different types of people that you've engaged with, right? You're reaching out, you're having phone calls, you're doing emails, you're getting to understand like their lived experiences. What has been the biggest surprise to you about the audiences that we serve?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shouldn't be that surprising, but I am still constantly surprised by just the variety of people and backgrounds that are coming into your program, and just seeing them make their way into the tech industry and go through the process of learning the right skills, being connected to the community, leaning on one another. Like, it's just really, really powerful to see how far and wide that this program goes and how it impacts the community. I'd also say, I know this is a question upcoming, I'm going to jump in on it, but one of the highlights of volunteering with and engaging with AUTMites has just been knowing that I am somebody that they can turn to throughout their journey. So for example, I've had a couple of AUTMites who, were asking questions, weren't sure, how to progress forward with their programming, and just needed somebody to talk to about the best next steps for them. And so being able to help support someone in their journey when it is a challenge, it's not easy to get into the tech industry. You are doing something really amazing for yourself and for your community by going through this. And so being able to help them and let them know, like, you are not alone in this, and I am here to help support you. And knowing that from those conversations, folks have then continued on with the program and taken the next steps for them has been really, really powerful.
So, given your background, your involvement inside the tech space, I'm curious if your expectations were met, right? We've talked about the challenge of there being a lack of diversity. There's not enough support. People don't know where to go. There's no guidance. Are you meeting your expectations in the work that we're doing, but also through your own volunteering efforts as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important that programs like what you do get exposed to more organizations. As a recruiter, like, this is the gap that we want to bridge, is like, how can we make sure that folks who are getting trained and getting skilled through alternative kinds of pathways that are not as traditional as like going to a university and studying, all the things that you need to do, like, how are we making sure we're providing pathways for them to get into these companies? And so I think that this program is exactly like what I have been looking for personally, as somebody who wants to volunteer and also as somebody who is a recruiter. And I think that the work that y'all are doing is absolutely phenomenal. And I just give major kudos to every AUTMite who is going through this process, because again, it is not easy. It is a challenge, but you are going to come out so much brighter on the other side.
I love that. I love that. So then, as we look to take the hopes and dreams for 2023, what do you hope for our AUTMites, and what do you hope for AUTMHQ as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as a case manager, I hope that the folks I'm connecting with, finish the program and get all they need to do for their own skills and their own career. But I think for AUTMHQ, I am really excited for y'all to continue to expand your work. So I'm personally based in Boston, still able to volunteer with folks in the Austin area and beyond. And I think that's something that is really just like really exciting to see about your journey, is how y'all are continuing to expand outside of just Texas and outside of just the United States, and being more of a global presence. So I think I'm really pumped to see your journey, to see y'all continue to grow, and then hopefully more organizations jump on and partner with y'all, because again, I think this work is really amazing, and I think more people need to be exposed to it.
Definitely agree with that. So if you're an employer, please reach out to us. You can go to our website, you can email, you can phone call. We accept all forms of communication. And for our AUTMites that are in Massachusetts, right? You have a volunteer that's there in Boston. So please reach out to Brittany, engage with her through the options so y'all can build those connections. So Brittany, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your efforts. We're going to let you say farewell while we bring up the next volunteer to continue this engaging conversation.
Awesome. Yes, please hit me up on LinkedIn, and very excited for the rest of this conversation. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Brittany. Clarissa, welcome. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, so those that are watching, please submit your questions, whether it's for our AUTMites or our volunteers, please submit them so we can get them answered, right? We want to get y'all plugged in. So on to our next participant, none other than Clarissa. Can you please introduce yourself and let everybody here know how are you connected to AUTMHQ?
Hi, my name is Clarissa. I'm a volunteer, and I'm connected through you, Michael. Several years ago, we kind of talked about your your vision of Autumn when you were taking up to be president and CEO, and just heard and just fell in love with all the things that you were planning on doing, and to see you grow this program and being able to do all these great things like career coaching and boot camps. Like, I had to be a part of it, so that's why I'm here.
And how have you liked your time with us? And you've also engaged with several of our participants. You've heard their lived experiences. And how has your engagement been with them from a volunteering perspective?
Yeah. So I have done lots of career coaching through AUTMHQ, and I really enjoyed this, especially from me being a project manager. There's a lot of folks who have come uh, to be able to talk about that, like what their actual career path is going to look like, or just asking questions around the industry in tech for anyone who's pivoting into being either a program or a project manager. And I've been doing that for going on 10 months. Time's been moving by in pandemic time. But that's what I've been mainly doing.
Mm-hmm. And I hear, from Brittany's perspective as a recruiter, from your perspective as a project manager, is that like, y'all come from different types of aspects of technology that's providing that value to our AUTMites, right? And giving them that guidance, make them feel comfortable, and moving them along the way. So given the different people that you've engaged with, what has been the biggest highlight, especially from someone who've known, I want to say from someone of the beginning to where we are now, what has been the biggest highlight from volunteering and just from the impact you've had in the community?
Oh my gosh. Well, first, I'll say that from the volunteering aspect, I've really enjoyed meeting all the different types of folks who are from everywhere. I don't know who I'm going to be connected to, but I'm always looking forward to it, to be able to get to know about them, where they're from, like what some of their, dreams are, what some of their goals, what some of the, courses that they're taking. And like that's been like the really big highlight for me, is seeing AUTMHQ just grow and being able to serve all these awesome AUTMites that I've been coming into contact with these past 10 months. It's been really awesome. And it's always been a goal of mine to be able to give back to those. And I know what it's like. I think because I made a good point, like when it comes to like networking and mentorships, there's a lot of us who have moved into this tech space that did not have that, but understand and empathize how valuable that could be. So we want to be able to give that back to folks. And there's a lot of times, you don't know what you don't know. And being part of any of the career coaching and any of the mentorships, the whole Horizon project, anywhere, any opportunity that we can be able to share and give insight about what it is to be in tech, what some of the unspoken things are about moving into tech, that's all been like a huge highlight for me. And just the program itself, just seeing partnership grow with us, and just it's just been great. I'm very excited.
And that's what we want, right? Like I want Clarissa, Brittany, and Keziah having their own event, right? Going to, traveling together and then coming back and saying, oh, we traveled to Costa Rica and now we have 15 participants inside the tech space, right?
Yeah.
That's what we want to see. We want to see people coming together, forming their own relationships, and then going and impacting the community, right? Doing what needs to be done by leveraging your experiences, leveraging your own network to go and make this happen. So before we let you go, Clarissa, I have to ask, what do you hope our AUTMites achieve, but also what do you hope AUTMHQ achieve in 2023?
Yeah, for our AUTMites, and all the ones that I've had the opportunity to work with, I want to see them continue to move forward in their courses and their goals that we had discussed, as far as what they want to do for the next 6 months and the next year. There's so many like aspirations, and this pivot into tech, is seeing like faces that look like me moving into tech has been such a blessing to see. So I'm looking forward to that, and I want to see more of that next year. For AUTMHQ as a whole, I just much to what Brittany mentioned, just want to see us just continue to expand It's just been awesome to see that we're bigger than Austin, like we're branching out, and I want to see more partnerships, with AUTMHQ, because you can do so much more, and we can do so much more outreach. And I just want so much of that support to be for AUTMHQ next year.
Yeah, and I love everybody coming together and seeing how we've moved over the years, right? And I remember back in 2016 when we started from our events, and to now seeing the growth of our AUTMites and them getting plugged in, them getting jobs, and the AUTMites of all different ages, right? All different experience level. We have people young as 16 years old, as old as 55, right? So it's beautiful, and I'm excited, and I thank you for your support as well, Clarissa. So we're gonna let you say farewell, and we're gonna bring up our next volunteer.
All right, farewell, everyone. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one, Clarissa. Hey, Gary, how are you doing? Oh, you're on mute, Gary.
Damn.
There you go. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Looks like things are running along smoothly, except for me, the only person who couldn't figure out the mute button.
Hey, we had to, at least one person had to do it, right? So it's fine. We got it out the way. So now it's smooth sailing. So Gary, please introduce yourselves and let people know how you're connected to AUTMHQ.
Awesome, yeah. Hi, my name is Gary Sorhalis. I'm based here out of Austin, Texas. I work at Microsoft, and that's where I actually was able to connect with AUTMHQ and the work that they're doing there. A teammate of mine that was also a volunteer for a military focus group. We help veterans also who are transitioning find their way into the technology field. So how do I go from the job I used to do and, speaking another language, so to speak, and then, land something? And he said, hey, Gary, you're actually in Austin. I'm in Seattle. So why don't you come and try to, see what this organization's about? And I'm definitely glad that I did, because the approach that you all take as far as being local, but at the same time, I'm realizing, as the other mentors have been mentioning, the different faces from all walks of life, from all over the world. You're going, oh, wow, I didn't know that you reached that far, but here we are. How's Nigeria? Or how's, wherever you are in your background. So it's been a lot of fun.
Definitely. We tell everybody that the movement started in Austin. This is where we're headquarters, right? But it doesn't end here, right? It moves, right? It goes to other cities, other states, other countries. And I'm so blessed and privileged to see the opportunity just grow and everybody get exposed to what we're doing here at Austin Urban Technology Movement. So Gary, I know that you have experience. I know you've been engaged in other places. So what was it about AUTMHQ that was like, you know what, that's the organization I want to volunteer with?
I would say the outreach, and definitely the people like you, yourself, Clifford, countless others that communicate with me, through Teams chats, this, that, and the other, to just talk about like what's going on. I would say that the part that drew me in, right, is, the connecting of people to technology. As like the other volunteers mentioned, people who look like you, don't look like you. I definitely do feel that diversity of thought, ideas, right, the Medici effect, right, brings greater impact, right, because people are able to see things in a different way. Not only the mission, but the organization. And also it just definitely helps that it's local, right? So when someone needs help handing out laptops and you need some folks close by, not too far away. And I still have to remember how to drive, right? Even though I work from home, like, okay, how does this car thing work again? And I have to put pants on again? Okay, I guess so. We'll do it for you.
It's different, and that's where it's a different lifestyle that we have now, right? And it's a different environment, because I can only imagine from your perspective, but at least I could share from my own volunteer efforts, that the way I used to volunteer, 2, 3, 5 years ago is very different now. A lot has happened in our society, and we've seen a lot have happened. So what has been the biggest barrier or the biggest challenge that you've seen in our AUTMites and you've seen in our participants? What has been the challenge that keeps coming up and up just based on their own lived experiences?
It's a good question, because every situation is a little bit different. But one of the overarching themes that I'll see is, it's like, I have family, children going through school. We're all at home. We're sharing the internet connection. Jobs come and go, especially not just the great resignation, but you're seeing right now layoffs, even at major companies, right? So it's just tough for everyone. So managing and balancing that, the daytime job, but also trying to find those opportunities to upskill. And so, that's another benefit that's beautiful that your organization provides, right? Is the ability to continue to grow your skills, to network, to see what else is out there, and learn another language. So it's some people, they're already working towards it. And so other people, it's a huge leap to change what they're doing from their day-to-day to something later on. So I definitely admire, right, the strength that they have to continue pushing forward, even though it's not their day-to-day thing today.
Exactly. And that's why we have our mentors. That's why we have our case managers. That's why we help with devices to provide that support and those wraparound services to help people keep on moving through, right? So that whatever barrier is there, we try our best to overcome that barrier to the best of our ability. And through your efforts, Gary, please share what is it that you're doing with these AUTMites. What is it that you're providing to help them overcome these challenges and these barriers, whether it's internet access, having to juggle multiple jobs in order to continue moving forward. Like what has been your services and your own engagement with AUTMHQ?
So outside of helping hand out laptops and things like that, I'm also put time or make time available for people to reach out. So if they're looking for career coaching, any kind of occupational mentorship, I have a very varied background. So even here at Microsoft, in my first 2 years, I already had 5 jobs. And then before then, I've had all kinds of titles because I worked at a startup. So whether someone's looking for, hey, project management stuff, product management, program manager, software development, you name it, I've had my hand in some part to play in it. And I don't mind giving people the reality, like the truth, as far as like as far as my perspective, like the pluses and minuses of each one. I would say that it might not be a plus for some of the people who get connected with me because I give them homework. So if we're looking for something like low code, no code, I don't just hit you with a barrage of links. It's basically, hey, based on what we talked about, here's some more certifications that you can get that lean towards this way. What I'll also teach people or try to explain to folks is you say you want to do this, this, and this, but it's also important to find out not just what you like or what you want to do, but find out those things that you don't like, right? So the quicker you figure that out, the less you start saying, oh, you know what? I don't really want to go to data science anymore. I changed my mind when I figured out what they do in a day-to-day. So I do feel that the biggest benefit that's mutual, right, is having that ability to have a conversation and help put people on the right path, and then kind of continue looking with it forward, right? So we connect on LinkedIn and just see how things are going.
Mm-hmm. So if you were talking to someone on the street that was saying, hey, I heard about AUTMHQ, what do you think about that organization? What would you share was your biggest highlight with your time working with us?
The biggest highlight, and that's pretty tough, I would say highlight as far as on the volunteer side of things, right, is being able to easily connect, right, with different folks who are looking for things and be able to have those conversations and show empathy and like connect with a real human being and be able to see if you have something that is of value that they could take away from, and then hopefully that they could pay it forward in the future, right, as soon as they figure out what they'd like to do. But I'd say like biggest highlight, I would say, has been, getting to know everybody. So both on the AUTMHQ side of the house and also the AUTMites, right? It's definitely a beautiful ecosystem that you guys have built up.
I appreciate that, Gary, and I truly appreciate just your efforts. Same thing with Brittany, with Clarissa, all of our volunteers, they come with such different experiences, such different backgrounds that isn't really showcased or talked about, especially from not their perspective. So thank you so much for your contribution. And we're going to let you say farewell as we bring up our last AUTMite.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Gary. Clinton, welcome to the stage. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. I hope that you have enjoyed the conversation so much as much as I've had and as much as everyone else online. So as we continue, Clinton, please introduce yourself and let us know how you're connected to AUTMHQ.
So yeah, hi everybody. Good evening. My name is Clinton, and I'm located here in Houston, Texas, and I am connected with AUTMHQ through the software development apprenticeship program at National Instruments. I actually, how I got connected with AUTMHQ is I actually attended a workshop called Galvanize, and they actually did something similar to what AUTMHQ is doing, and they had a lot of speakers on that was speaking about their organization and what their mission was. And Michael, you actually was one of the speakers there. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, it was a good 30-minute conversation. You were speaking about the mission of AUTMHQ, and at the end of the conversation, you gave out your information, and I actually took that information down, and then I went to the website. I filled out the form, and then I got a call from one of the volunteers, and that's how everything got kicked off. And from there, that's how I ended up here.
You see, so shout out to our volunteers who reached
Yeah.
out to Clinton, right, to continue on with the journey, right, continue on with the process. Because I only do so much, but we have our staff, we have our volunteers, we have all of our participants who truly play a role and help us keep things going. So thank you all who helped Clinton get to where he is today. So Clinton, you mentioned that we reached out. Well, you reached out to us, we followed up. But how did we help you, right? Let's kind of pull back the onion. Let's move the layers, and let's get down to the real details about what did we do to help you on your journey, because we know there's many people there who don't know who we are, or who is thinking about getting to tech but don't know what they want to do and don't know which program to truly believe in. So how did we help you on your tech journey and help you get to NI?
So I would say the biggest thing that you guys helped me get to, and I would say you guys broke down the barriers, and not only for me but for other minorities. Breaking down the barriers to get into tech. Before in the past you needed a CS degree or a master's degree to even be considered for a role in tech. That's not the case now. AUTMHQ has provided a gateway for me and for other minorities, and to get their foot in the door. And so that's been the biggest thing for me. It's
And that's what we do. We want to knock down those barriers, because that has been one of the many things that we bring up when we're talking about, like, what has been the challenge? Oh, there's a barrier this, barrier that. So what was it about AUTMHQ that you were like, yes, I want to work with that organization to help me remove this barrier, right? And what was it about our organization that made you want to go ahead and sign up?
The team was very supportive, and they genuinely wanted to see you succeed, in tech. I didn't think that it was going to happen this soon, even though I was putting in the work. I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, but just it's a testament to AUTMHQ's hard work that they do behind the scenes and making everything happen. I mean, you have to do the work, but they're right there with you doing the work behind the scenes to get you that first gig. So I would
And
say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. As I'm hearing you, speak, I'm just thinking about the team, thinking about the staff, thinking about all the work that goes into it. Because this is truly a team effort, and we want to be that support for you all, because we want to build a community, right?
Mhm.
I want to hear about
Yeah.
Clinton, creating products, creating new ideas at NI. And then now Clinton's is somewhere, and Clinton just bumped into Gary, and now NI and Microsoft is having a collaboration because of Clinton and Gary, right? Like that's what we want to see. So I'm loving what I'm hearing from you, Clinton, from your story and from your journey. So then, what do you hope for other AUTMites? And what is it that you hope for AUTMHQ, given your own journey and your own experience?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So what do you hope for AUTMites and for AUTMHQ as we look to move into 2023?
Just I'll echo what the previous volunteers said, and just expanding from Austin and going all over the world. We all know that there's a lot of people out here that want an opportunity, and they just need that one person that has that connection, and the rest would be history. And so the more AUTMHQ expands, the more people, the more minorities we get into tech. And this is just the start, man. Just the mentorship that they provide. I'm speaking from me personally. The mentorship that they provide, the one-on-one mock interviews, the training that's offered, it all played a role in me getting my first gig at National Instruments. And I know for the other AUTMites, they'll say the same thing. And so just for 2023, just expand, and just let's keep this thing going.
I couldn't say it better myself. So if you are looking to get into tech, please reach out to us. Reach out to Clinton, and reach out to Keziah. They're on LinkedIn, and they'll be more than happy to share their experiences. But if you're looking to get connected to anyone in tech, right? You have Gary, you have Clarissa, you have Brittany. These are people that are doing this work. So Clinton, thank you so much. I'm gonna let you say farewell, and then we're gonna go ahead and close out.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
Beautiful. Well, for those who are watching now and watch it later, thank you so much for attending. I enjoyed the conversation between our volunteers and our AUTMites and learning about their own experiences and the impact that we've had on their lives and now what they're doing, right? And that's what we want to see. So I have to say, please go ahead and RSVP for our next 12 Days of AUTMHQ event if you have not done so. Tomorrow we'll be having our Autumn HQ game show. So we'll dive into everything technology, but talk about trends that are happening here locally in Austin, here in Texas, across the globe, but also sharing some more information about AUTMHQ and the work that we do as well. So please go ahead and RSVP, and we look forward to seeing you all for our next event. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one. Bye.